Happy American Thanksgiving.
Oh, is that what's happening this weekend?
Mm-hmm. That's what's happening right now.
Oh, okay.
So, hello, Indiana. Hello, Boise.
Hello, Arkansas. My favorite of all the Arkansas.
Oh, of all the saws. Kansas, Arkansas. It's pronounced Kansas. That's the joke.
Oh no, I was trying to think of other saws.
Oh, I don't think they're just
All I can in my head, all I can hear is sarsaparilla. We are not Georgia peaches, so
Not yet.
well, we have peach-like characteristics, but
We're sweet as peaches. We have peach-shaped booties.
You know what? I'm glad that peaches are having their day. And I mean, by peaches, I mean big fat asses. Because here she comes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I feel that. But also just peaches, the literal peach, just like in general, stone fruit is making a comeback, and we love that.
yeah.
We love fruit variety.
Yeah. I mean, move over, nectarine.
Here comes the peach.
Yeah. I didn't even realize either that, like, I guess Niagara is synonymous for peaches because they're like a peach growing area.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I went a couple times post
9/11.
Post lockdown, definitely post 9/11.
Okay.
But post lockdown, when we were allowed to go, when we were first allowed to see people, but like social distancing and masked. So I went, and there are peach stands everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe we were already vaccinated, and I think we were vaccinated like one round. Okay.
That would have been peach growing season.
Depending on
it checks out.
on which vulnerable part of the population you are in. I am, in none of them, as evidenced by my extreme waiting for it. So, whatever. Have you been watching Drag Race?
I am caught up on Canada's. I am not caught up on the UK. I'm one behind. But like, let's call a spade a spade. I know who gets eliminated. It's just
on UK.
Oh, come on! Like, who's not making final three? Vanity. Like, there's no reason to not think that's the case. Like, she's lip synced 3 times. She ain't making final 3.
No, it's like,
bless her.
Yeah, the only thing that's really kind of interesting is who is potentially lip syncing against her. Like,
yeah, and I don't know that piece of information. I look forward to finding out, but I am behind. I'm behind on my Drag Race.
That's okay.
But not Canada's.
No. Canada's is really interesting. I'm kind of loving it.
I was kind of bummed that Cynthia Kiss went home.
Me too.
I think she might be like Canada's, like, she's such a good like ambassador for the country. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they could market her.
She's gonna be a big deal after
I think
this.
so. I think so.
I'm like, there are like 2 people I'm super in love with, and that's Ella Vidae and Cynthia Kiss. Like, Cynthia Kiss is just so sweet and cute, and like
genuine.
Yes, and they have a really great story, and they realize they're so lucky to have the kind of story that they have, and are nurturing and loving. And for someone who is, I don't want to say they're new to drag, but they're definitely young.
Cynthia, yeah, she's 29.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So she's got a baby face, but she's still young.
She's young. I mean, I'm 30. Who's counting? Who's making it about them, not me?
Almost 40.
Crazy eyes.
Okay. Hello and welcome to the Full Volume Podcast.
You say that as a question. Are we
Yeah.
not saying hello? Are we not welcoming people?
You can do all that. You're so
I
good at it.
I am your demi-host, as the French would say, Harvey Brent, joined by
G.I. Jolie. And we are so excited because, I mean, it's like a double-edged sword. I'm sad that we can't do a tiered list this week, but I'm excited. Wow, my niece is shrieking. I'm
She's excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I'm excited because we're back. We're back, baby. We have
We're back.
Hawkeye.
We have. It sounded like you said Hawkeye, like hot guy there. But I know
Oh,
you meant Hawkeye, but it
yeah.
sounds weird.
Yes. Okay. So Hawkeye, as is commonly referred to, is that? Do you think that's the scientific name for the species?
I, perhaps. I mean, there's. I'm not a taxonomist, so I couldn't give you the full lowdown, but perhaps
Right.
that could be. Yeah.
You must get it all the time. You're like a scientist and you also study aquatic animals. So it's like you must know all of the animals.
I must. I get that a
Yeah.
lot, actually. People are like, are
Yeah.
you like a marine biologist or whatever? And I'm like, no. But go off. Like, you can assume that. That's fine if you
So,
need to.
so you're not a marine biologist.
No, I do freshwater. It's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I said. So I came up last night on last night's Spider Cast.
As it
And I was
should.
like, I think Steve is a marine biologist because the word marine means ocean.
Yeah, that's exactly like that. I'm literally a Great Lakes biologist. I think that's my job title.
Okay. So,
So
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Great Lakes biologist. So I
yeah,
just say freshwater.
yeah, that works.
Predatory freshwater species or
Oh, I thought you were like coming for me. I think thought you were giving me a read. It, I did a lot of predator work, top predators.
oh, okay. So
Mhm.
carp.
No, carp are not predators. They're just nuisances that don't
Ugh.
eat anything. I mean, they eat everything, but they also eat nothing.
Weird.
Weird.
Oh well. Okay.
But Hawkeye, we're back.
And 2 full freaking episodes. Can you
Duh.
believe it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. First off the bat, I want to say I don't know how I'm gonna like talk about these because I just want to like talk about them together. But like if we need to talk about individual episodes things, that's cool too, which I'm totally fine for. But I just want to say off the bat, I am loving this like pseudo Christmas background.
Yes.
Christmas in New York, how magical.
Always.
So magical.
And I love how they play up. Let's talk about Christmas in New York for a second. A little tangent.
A little background.
Yeah. Someone once told me that the ice rink in Campus Martius in Detroit is bigger than the ice rink in Rockefeller Square.
I would not have gathered that actually.
Right? And there's this aerial shot. I was like, no, that's crazy. You're crazy. That's not correct. There's no way. Because every time you see it, Home Alone 2, sorry.
Austin, New York.
Home Alone 2, Austin, New York. Die Hard. Every time you see it, it looks gigantic.
Mm-hmm. The Mindy Project. Any TV show, any syndicated TV show taking place in New York.
Elf.
Yeah.
So I thought it was huge, but there's like this aerial shot. This has nothing to do with the merit of the show. There's this aerial shot that they shot it for Hawkeye in a way that I've never seen it sort of like shown in a show or a movie, and it was like an aerial shot. It is smaller. It's actually pretty small, but they always everywhere I've seen it, it's been a wide angle lens.
I noticed that too, actually. I was like, that can't be the ice rink at Rockefeller Center. It's too small. But now that you say that, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the tree still looks like a goddamn miracle. Like,
yeah.
Could you imagine stringing those lights? Ooh.
Getting paid minimum wage? No, thank you. So, but no, it's interesting. We've got a little bit like a Christmas backdrop. I like
Yes.
it. And like they don't beat you over the head with it too much. Like I mean, there's a couple events, like going to the Avengers musical, which we'll get to, um, and some stuff like that. But like in general, it's just they're like perfectly in the background, but they don't overdo it. And so into it. Like you said Die Hard. That's what made me think of it. I was like, this is an unofficial Christmas show.
Mhm, mhm. There are not many of you unofficial Christmas shows, but
Hmm.
this is it's like perfect. It's like when they drop the Christmas episode of a season of a show, because it's been airing since September. When back
Yeah.
when we all used to watch syndicated television,
Who were we?
right? Who who are those people?
I know.
Nobody knows those girls. Uh, But now shows can come out whenever Disney damn well pleases, and they can revolve around Christmas
And we will
because
still watch them regardless.
Walt does what he wants.
Side question: do you consider the Harry Potter films unofficial Christmas movies? This is a debate that's been going on the internet. They are. Some people place them as unofficial Christmas movies. I place them as um, pre, during, and post American Thanksgiving Christmas movies with a slight lead up into early December. That's where they
Yes,
fit in on my schedule.
only a couple of them I would consider. I would consider The Sorcerer's Stone and Goblet of Fire because there are specific plot points that revolve around Christmas. One being the Harry and the sweater thing, like he stays at Hogwarts with Ron.
Yep. Happy Christmas, Harry. Happy Christmas, Ron. Of course. How can I forget?
Yeah, so cute, so beautiful. And then Hermione leaving, and him taking off into the bowels of Hogwarts with his little invisibility cloak, and then everyone's favorite awkward teenage moment where they all do the Yule Ball dance,
Yes.
right?
The
I
Yule
am
Ball
Hermione
dance.
on the stairs. I took, I said yes to a Victor Crumb every single time. But did I want to be there with Victor Crumb? No. I wanted to be there with Ron Weasley, whose locker was across the hall from mine and who never gave me a second look.
Stupid Ron.
Fuck him.
Turn around. Open your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Duh.
I'm right here. And
Exactly.
I would, oh my God. I mean, eventually I dated that person, but whatever. It took, it took long enough,
Couldn't fit it into a 7-year book series that takes place in England, but you did it.
right?
You did it. So that's my tangent, though, about Harry Potter. But back to
Yeah.
Hawkeye.
Yes.
Um,
Okay. Plot summary.
yeah, of course, go for it.
Okay.
You know how I
Uh,
like deliberately handed that off on you? I was like, go for it. You do
Ooh, I
it.
watched these last night, but I don't know if I can do this. It's gonna be real quick. Maybe it won't. Depends on what I remember. Okay, so we get a really we get Kate Bishop's backstory in the first episode ish. I
Which,
mean, we
by
get
the
a lot
way,
of her backstory. Whew.
overlays with what significant event in the MCU?
Ooh, the Chitauri, right?
Yeah, invading New York
The
in
the
2012.
battle. What do they call that officially? The Battle of New York.
Yes.
That's it. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. It's crazy. Her home is destroyed. But we also find out that she's super loaded because the only people who have condos in the middle of downtown New York are the super rich.
Mm,
But
I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't feel bad that that home was getting destroyed.
me neither.
Hashtag eat the rich.
Hashtag okay, the kid that hashtag the kid that played her as a youngling,
Hmm.
super annoying.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but
Oh,
mhm.
I'm going to because it deserves to be said.
Well,
Um, so I guess her dad might have died. They weren't very clear on that, except for the fact that
okay.
appear later. So,
But like, did he? Because like they showed him in the recap from episode 1 saying, "I will do whatever it takes to protect you." So TBD on that death. But yes, for now
yeah.
he is dead.
Yes, because the way that Hawkeye and all of Marvel works is that he'll probably come back.
We're in the
Especially,
multiverse, baby.
yeah. Okay, so Kate is older, wise. She becomes older, wiser, still lives with her mom. Sometimes she doesn't. She has an apartment that she inherits. I'm going to assume that this is her father's, her ex-father's apartment.
Yes, her late father.
Yeah, her late father. I guess you don't really stop becoming somebody's dad if you die.
Mm-mm.
You don't stop being someone's dad if you die, unless they're literally dead to you. But I mean, figuratively dead to you. I mean that. Okay, so she is it the same episode where she goes to she comes home to visit her mom, played by
Vera Farmiga. Yes.
That's it, Vera.
Of the Conjuring fame.
Yeah, it's her daughter that's Mia, right? And she's in our favorite HS. So she comes home. Her mom is like, "We're going to a dinner party." The dinner party turns out to be, on the surface, a party for rich people, but on the literally underneath the surface, in the wine cellar of this wherever they are, swanky New York hotel, they are selling and auctioning illegally obtained goods like a triceratops skeleton.
I know.
And
for $2 million, by the way.
Cheap, if you ask me.
Could probably get it cheaper at HomeSense, or maybe not.
Right? You know what you can get cheaper at HomeSense is the Ronin's complete costume and retractable sword. Which were also part of the auction. She sneaks down there. So it's really funny because her mom, they set it all up really casually, which is what I think was really cool, is that she's like, "Can you go put that dress on that I picked out for you?" We'll rewind back to when she gets home. We're going to this party, and she goes, "Okay, I guess I'm going." Cut to the party, and she's wearing a tuxedo.
I know.
All hail Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
She looks dope. Would swerve 100% for Haley Steinfeld in a freaking tuxedo.
It was a look.
Her hair was kind of flat, but whatever. We're not like hair judges.
Right. Or are we? Just a little bit.
Not tonight.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta take one hat off to put another on. So she gets mistaken for the help by several people at this party, and she uses that to her advantage to sneak into the basement auction. And that's where she sees the Ronin sword and the Ronin costume. Robbers, naturally, as they do, break in because they always, right? They always know when these illegal dealings, these illegal auctions are happening. And to be honest, I'm surprised for an illegal auction that there wasn't more security. But they bust through there and they are looking for a watch. I'm assuming, looking for Tony Stark's watch.
Probably some sort of nanotech realness. Yeah.
So there's it looks like there's a lot of artifacts that were taken from the remains of the last Avengers compound. It was destroyed, obviously, and then because this is where they get the Ronin shit. She finds the watch. She definitely finds the Ronin sword in the costume, puts it on, and decides, "Yep, this is my moment. I'm going to kick everyone's ass." And then proceeds.
She does.
And at the same time, Clint Barton and the children, the Barton family, the Swiss family Barton, are all out for Chinese and
recovering from the play they just saw, by the way. Emotionally recovering from the play they just saw, which
Well, I mean, some of them more than others. They are recovering so hard because they actually left before the intermission. Because Big Daddy B, aka Jeremy Renner, I mean, he was very emotionally triggered by what he saw, and I mean, weren't we all?
I mean, he was triggered because of Black Widow. We were triggered because the amount of camp was just, whoa.
The levels were like red.
They were red. They were the danger zone for camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he sees on the television that there's like a report on the television. I don't know whether he's home or in the restaurant at this point. It doesn't matter. All it matters is Clint sees it on a television. He sees somebody in his Ronin outfit. He knows it's his because obviously, but like Kate Bishop doesn't. But anyway, I think that's where that pretty much wraps up the synopsis of the first episode.
Well, I mean, they start to hunt down Kate Bishop, and a dog helps her kind of escape at least the underground building, which is Lucky the pizza dog. And she gets back to her place, drops off the dog. But yeah, then goes back out, gets another fight with the tracksuit mafia, and then yeah, that's when Clint intercepts and beats them all up, and then kind of puts Kate against the wall and says like, what the hell. So that's the first episode.
Yeah, and she, like most people in New York, is like, oh, you're Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of nice because they're kind of minor celebrities.
She's like, oh, a C-list Avenger. Wow. Sorry.
The only surviving Avenger.
So that's episode 1.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
I can't toss it your way. I barely remember episode 2.
Fine. All right. So they're back at her apartment, I believe. And that is when they're forced to evacuate because the tracksuit mafia tracked them down, started throwing Molotovs into their apartment window. So they unfortunately have to evacuate real quickly. They leave the Ronin suit behind. So this episode becomes kind of an episode about finding the Ronin suit. And wouldn't you know it, when Clint goes back to the scene of the fire, he sees a New York City LARPer sticker on the firefighter's vehicle and notices the suit's missing. So he said, well, that's a lead. And Hawkeye attends a LARP event in, I'm going to assume that's, what's that park in New York City that's very famous?
Central Park.
Thank you. Central Park. So he attends that and does get the suit back, thankfully. And we get some more exposition about Kate's mom's new fiance, who's basically like, if I'm pretty sure, the swordsman, the villain, the swordsman. Isn't
that
he?
I don't know.
See,
but,
like
I mean, hey.
Let's just say yes for simplicity's sake. He's being built up to be, I think, a villain.
Yeah.
Obviously. Anyways, what happens though is Barton purposely lets himself be captured by the tracksuit mafia, and they bring them to their location where he's hoping to meet their leader. And that's when the leaders introduce themselves, introduce their boss to Barton, and eventually Kate Bishop, who crashes the party, to their boss at the end of the episode, and then we're left wondering who it is. So. Yeah, actually, episode 2 kind of flew by, to be honest. There wasn't as many plot points. It was more big not set pieces, rather, but big scenes like Hawkeye at the LARPing event, and there's a fencing sequence between Kate and Swordsman. So yeah, lots of that going on.
Oh yeah, because we forgot to mention that the Swordsman, aka her potential maybe stepfather, probably stepfather in the future, has an uncle who was at that auction.
He was murdered.
Yes, he was murdered, and she discovered a butterscotch under his dead body.
Butterscotch villain.
Yeah.
Love it.
And the butterscotch caper. Um, so after they're done fencing, weirdly enough, new super stepdaddy offers her a butterscotch.
And that's when it clicks and she's like, oh, girl, you in trouble.
Leading her to believe. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously the swordsman. So yeah. Okay, now we can dive in because there are so many. We need to talk about Rogers the musical. I wish I would have written down the lyrics to that song.
Oh, it was iconic. Just so many theater kids that just getting their moment in the spotlight on that stage. I was like, whoa. But it was, I mean, I don't know what kind of emotion they were expecting to elicit from us as the audience, but mine was of bewilderment and gaggery. Like it was like, oh.
I definitely was perplexed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna Google the lyrics really quick. See if I
Do
can
they
find them.
exist?
Someone had to have written them down. Lyrics revealed. Okay. Help us win. Save us all from the state we're in. That's the chorus. So yeah. Let's see. There. I'm just. I want to find. Here we go. The part that I thought was really the stupidest. So there's a part where the chorus is like singing about every Avenger. Save the city. Save us all from the state we're in. The Hulk is incredible, smashing things up, while Iron Man takes to the sky. Captain America's strong, and that Thor is a god. Like, I wish I knew the like melody because set to a melody, it's even more campy. And
Yep.
Lord knows they're easy on the eyes. Black Widow's a knockout who can knock you out. And when Ant-Man flies, you won't hear a sound. And then Captain America kind of cuts in and yells, "Get the Tesseract, the battle's just begun." And it's like the song is taking place during the Battle of New York.
I know. And there's also like a made for stage hero that they added in, which I assume is the main character that's supposed to be like the window into the Avengers.
Yeah.
That's usually how these things work. I didn't even catch his name though. They did say it at one point.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm just like really quickly trying to look for it. They don't mention it in this CBR article. They probably do, but my eyes are old and not as quick. But I do want to mention while I am looking, the one part where they go, "Hulk, you know the magic word is. Hulk, you know the magic word is." And Hulk busts in with a ball rock and
Yeah.
yells, "Smash, smash, smash." And I almost lost my mind because at the same time, I'm still looking, at the same time, oh yeah, they don't mention it. At the same time, they're cutting back and forth from the stage to Hawkeye, who's in his seat. And there are clearly people in the audience who know that Hawkeye is there to watch the musical. And his daughter is kind of like keeping an eye on her dad. And she asks him if he's okay a couple times. And he looks like he's going to break. But it's hard to believe that one would break during this because of the lyrics.
And it's also so camp. How can you cry during that? Like,
Yeah.
but he does turn off his hearing aid because he's had enough.
Yeah, that's right. Because she goes, "Dad, did you turn your hearing aid off?" Was that later in the Chinese restaurant when she was trying to talk to him?
Mm-hmm.
And then he forgets, and remembers and turns it back on. Like, so the moral of the story is Hawkeye is old and all his friends are dead. And he's got to watch his dead friends on sing and dance.
Yeah. Come to think of it, yeah, like Iron Man's dead, Black Widow is dead, Captain America is more or less dead. So that's just Thor, who doesn't really live on Earth. He's up in Asgard, and
Mm,
Hulk. So really, he just has Hulk left of the original Avengers because Thor's not around.
yeah, and Hulk sort of took off, right?
I don't remember where he's at, but I don't. Him and Hawkeye weren't necessarily close, anyways. So
No.
he alone.
Yeah, and it's really sad, but also it was hard to feel emotion when they're cutting from what they're cutting in between. It was almost like having a panic attack, watching a visual panic attack.
Hmm.
I would imagine. I'm actually surprised that they didn't write that he had one because all of that would have been like stunning in a terrible way for him. Could you imagine?
You know
It's
what I
like,
just realized this entire time? My headphones aren't plugged in. It's like, why can't I? Hello?
hi.
There we go. I was like, why can I hear you so well when I take them out?
Have you been working all day, Brent?
I have. I'm very tired.
Oh no.
Anyways, so that was the musical. Um, I'm trying to think of other points to talk about. I mean, I so what do you think of Kate Bishop so far? I think I like her.
I do. I said I would swerve. I would 100% would. Um, I stand by that.
Hmm. Yeah,
Speaking
I like her a lot. I think she's not this like typical stupid kid that you expect to like foil and screw things up. I mean, like she did screw things up, but like
Mhm.
less overt than you would expect maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
I really liked Haley Steinfeld in pretty much everything she's been in. Pitch Perfect 1, 2, and 3, right?
I think she's in all
Oh,
three, yeah.
yes, and that Bumblebee movie, that Bumblebee Transformers movie.
Woof.
Yeah, that movie was not great, but she was a good like replacement for Shia LaBeouf.
I mean, we are good replacements for Shia LaBeouf. Everybody's a good replacement. Oh wait, don't you know him? I should be careful.
No,
You guys are pen pals, aren't you?
no, I don't think so. Not anymore, at least.
Um, so other than Kate, what did we think of her mom, Vera?
I don't know enough about Kate Bishop. I'm gonna start reading the Matt Faction comics and then go back and read the Thompson comics. Um,
Apparently, this whole season is heavily based off his run.
Matt Fractions.
Hmm.
Oh, that's another thing we should talk about. Is all of the graphic design is uh, it, it it's Matt Fractions like the covers to those books.
Oh,
Those
I did not know that. Not like the
yeah
bullseye and.
yeah and
Mhm.
it uses the same kind of like the same graphics but animated, and it's really cool because I remember when those first came out in 2012. I thought, whoa, I
When
would
did we
never
when did we get here?
yeah, like the Marvel at the time was doing something really cool with all their covers, and they were really appealing to some like to me because they were just so nice to look at. And then
Mhm.
like all the covers sort of had that same stylistic, overtly graphic feel. Graphic as in graphic design, graphic not as in nudity
Right.
or you know whatever. But yeah, I was digging the design. The storytelling was really good, visually and story wise,
Mm.
writing in the dialogue, et cetera, et cetera. Like the books on a whole were amazing. I know Mike was reading Hawkeye for sure. Like he has
Mhm.
started to pick it up. And um, yeah, I know that Kate Bishop's in those comics. And it's pretty much like Hawkeye and Kate Bishop kind of
Right.
buddy pop, buddy archers.
So I'm guessing though, I mean, I don't know how it ends, but I'm going to assume that he passes the torch to her at
He
the end of
must.
this. He must, right? Like that's kind of the way they're going. Like Black Widow passed it to her sister, and who, by the way, is a main cast member for Hawkeye. Yelena is in here. Florence Pugh.
Oh, really?
We haven't seen her yet, but she is listed as a main cast member.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Hmm.
You know, it makes total sense too because it'll be nice for him, his Clint Barton, to get that closure about his about his friend. It'd be really nice.
Also, Valentina was like, this is the guy that killed your sister. Sick him. Like that was kind of, she set this up.
Yeah. They'll be friends.
I think so, but not at first.
No, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And Kate Bishop will try to kill Kate, and Clint will try to kill her, and then it'll be like the Benny Hill song will play, and they'll realize that they're both on the same side.
As these things tend to happen.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. One thing that I really wanted to talk about was that origin story.
Okay.
Because we didn't dive deeply into it, but they're like, it was a standout moment because it felt as campy as Rogers the Musical. Am I wrong?
You mean like the first scene?
Yeah, where it's 2012 and it's the Battle of New York, and the Chitauri fighters are like tearing up their apartment.
It was campy in the sense that, like, how long did she have to run around for before her mother found her? Like, that was camp.
She just talked to her, and like,
I know,
she turned her around.
Yeah, that was odd to me, I found, for sure. Unless her mother was busy killing her father.
Oh, pushing him out a conveniently placed hole that was torn into their condo.
Mm-hmm.
But I think even at the time, they were separated.
Yeah, but I mean, what's like a little fun murder every now and then? Like, a girl's got to live.
Mm-hmm. Yep, a girl's gonna live husband free.
Yeah.
I mean, I am, and I didn't have to murder anybody or push anyone through holes or like summon the Chitauri to Earth.
Boys, get them. Yeah.
Just make sure my apartment is in the line of fire. It felt out of place because of, I think, the way that it was acted. It was very
it was cheesy.
Yeah, it was cheesy. It wasn't campy, but it was definitely very cheesy.
But also Vera's wig, like what was that?
Party City did they buy that at?
I don't not the Belleville location, let me tell you. We have only the finest lace fronts. That was not lace front.
I feel like, yeah, they got that at Party City at like 7 Mile. No, do you know what? Actually, I would assume that they have quality, if not human hair, on 7 Mile. So, Royal Oak?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
If we want to get specific, I'm sure we could geolocate that wig to a shoddy Party City in a rundown suburb. But the point is, though, that scene was, it was weird. The only thing I liked about it was that it connected to the Battle of New York.
Yes, because what it did, once she decides that she's going to stop screaming about her parents being missing, as she looks through that hole in their apartment, and she looks up and she sees Clint Barton on a nearby rooftop, and it's that scene where he pulls an arrow and falls backward through the sky like a goddamn god.
Mm-hmm.
And they really incorporated that well.
Do you think they reshot that scene, or do you think they used it from the original battle from the 2012 film?
Oh, I think they used a few of some of the old footage and mixed it with new.
Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of archived footage.
Oh yeah, if they reshot parts of it, it was definitely those close-ups where you could see somebody falling through the frame, but she was in focus. Because you only need a muscular arm in that Hawkeye outfit.
Yeah.
And because really the star was the awe on her face. And that, my friends, is how she decides she will be in the archery club at school.
And the rest is more or less history for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what do you think of the tracksuit mafia? What's going on there?
I'm kind of, they're kind of like caricatures of bad guys to me.
Oh,
But
they're
I don't,
such fools. Yeah.
yeah, like whatever. Yelena is going to come. She's going to speak Russian to them if they speak Russian.
Oh, I didn't even make that connection. Good call. Good catch.
Yeah, and like, um, I like that they're connected because they saw the televised Ronin costume too. Because he made a lot of enemies when he was killing bad leaders. So,
Which I don't think, did we maybe not to make that explicit enough? The Ronin costume came from Avengers Endgame when they decided to write Hawkeye back into the Avengers. And in the wake of his children and his wife being killed by the snap, he turned into the Ronin and went across the world and made a lot of enemies by killing a lot of bad people, part of a lot of bad organizations. So that's the pretense for this Ronin costume.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, we're not the only people triggered. So the tracksuit mafia totally triggered by seeing that. So they jump all over it. I don't know how they didn't. Okay, knowing what the Ronin did and knowing how he did it and how clean he was and how good he was at it, why did they go after him? I get it. He made a lot of enemies, but like, they were all going to die. And
Death Wish, yeah.
He ends up showing up to save Kate Ronin.
Yeah.
He doesn't kill most of them, but a lot of them do not leave unscathed. So
No, for sure. And I have a feeling that they are not going to be the villains of this season. I think they're going to introduce them to their leader, which I don't know her name yet, next episode. And she's going to want something. I don't know what, but I think the villain's going to be Vera Farmiga's fiance, the swordsman.
mm-hmm. Yes,
Persona numero uno.
Uh-huh. I can't wait. Okay, so lasting thoughts. Are we excited?
I like it. Maybe I'm just like in the Christmas spirit. I don't know if I would enjoy this as much in May or June. Perhaps that has something to do with it. I'm a fan of the background, but so far I'm into the story, and I like Kate Bishop. I like what she's doing. I like what Hawkeye is doing, I guess, more or less. So I'm a fan. I'm here for this more than I was for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but not as much as I was for Loki. That's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. I'm exactly where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how to say it any better. Like I was excited for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm still excited about parts of Falcon and the Winter Soldier that didn't really go where I felt that they could have. And I'm excited for this one. In the way that when Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Baron Zemo hook up with Sharon and they go to that club. Like that's what that part of Falcon and the Winter Soldier feels like this show.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's going to be a caper. There's going to be a little bit of espionage. There's definitely going to be a show of archery.
And some Christmas spirit.
Yeah. I like Christmas. I love everything about Christmas. I'm a true holiday bitch. Like
yes.
Halloween bitch, Christmas bitch.
Thanksgiving bitch.
Actually, yeah.
Well, that one's maybe problematic. I don't know.
Yeah. Leaf Erikson Day bitch.
Yeah. Acceptable.
Okay. And I'm excited for the next episode.
Yeah, me too. Totally.
Well, I mean, if you too are excited for the next episode, let us know. Now that we are back at it, send us an email, or tweet us, or send us a Facebook message, unsolicited. Just drop it right in there. You can also chat us on Instagram. We will never answer you because that is inappropriate, but you can try at Comic Book Syndicate on Instagram. And pretty much all of our socials are at Comic Book Syndicate. #FullVolumePod. Our email address is fullvolumepod@gmail.com. Please do not send us fake weirdo sponsorships because we can see right through that bullshit.
Send us real ones if you're from Arkansas.
Yes. Send us the peach growers of Ontario. We will also take sponsors. We also accept sponsorships from you.
We already did half of your job for you. We advertised for you.
Continue to talk about it. Juicy, succulent, off-season
Stone
peaches.
fruit.
Yeah. Until next time, I have been only one host, G.I. Jolie.
But one is more than none. And I'm Harvey Brent.
Keep it loud.
Keep it at full volume. We're weird. Bye.
Bye. We don't know how to control our bodies.